Hey guys, in today's video it's going to be another pageant video, and I'm going to be sharing my crowning moment as Miss Stone Mountain Yellow Daisy, the current title that I have in MAO and the title that is taking me to Miss Georgia. Hopefully I won't cry in this video. Hopefully this won't be too emotional for me. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, y'all, so I am Miss Stone Mountain Yellow Daisy 2017. It is this sash right here. And that's the title that's taking me to Miss Georgia in the Miss America organization. And we're currently in January. I got that title, I got crowned in August. So I've had a plenty of time to prepare, being that it was one of the first pageants of the year. The pageant year for MAO basically runs like a school year does. August to May is locals or prelims or however you want to categorize it, and in the summer is when they have the state pageant. So wow, like how did it feel? How was it? So I will say, like, doing the pageant, Stone Mountain and Stone Mountain Yellow Daisy, my sister queen is Miss Stone Mountain. That was probably the second best pageant experience that I've had. I'll do a whole nother separate video on kind of like my favorite or most memorable pageant experience, and my favorite one was Miss Albany and Miss Flint River, for any of the girls that are competing in, you know, the Georgia system. But everything just, when I did that pageant, everything just felt so right. When I did Stone Mountain, everything just felt right, and it felt in place, and it felt like God had met me halfway, and that title was mine. And it's crazy because so many things like went wrong leading up until that point. So I entered the pageant very much so like last minute. Because I was really trying to decide if I wanted to get back into competing, if I wanted to compete this season, because I had been struggling with it. I had just graduated from college, and I was trying to figure out my money and budgeting, and I didn't know if I would have time or the finances to pay for everything, and, you know, transitioning into the real world and working and all this stuff. But I decided that, you know, it's pageantry and was something that I still enjoyed doing, so I wanted to, you know, do the pageant. And my kind of handler, or the head of my board, Miss Patricia, she, you know, reached out to me and was like, hey, like, you should do this one, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And like that Friday that we had dress rehearsal, I was late. My mom and I were late. We were like almost an hour late to rehearsal, because my mom had to come get me and pick me up, and we had to go there together. And I don't live with my parents anymore. My parents live like 30 minutes away from where I am, and she was, you know, rushing to get off work and all this kind of thing. So we were just late, and there were some things that went wrong, like with my dresses. I couldn't get them out the cleaners in time, and the cleaners got the deadline mixed up that I needed them. I didn't know. I was just like up in disarray and confusion about my hair, because, you know, I hadn't done anything to it and it needed to be like kind of in a formal natural hairstyle. So I was kind of just frustrated with my hair and all of these things, just like small things that continue to build up. But I will say that, you know, some of the girls that I consider like my best pageant friends were all there competing. So it was a really fun weekend. And another thing that went wrong, I didn't have an interview dress. My interview dress from previous pageants I'd grown out of, so I had to get like an interview dress. I ran to Ross and got an interview dress like the morning of my interview, like an hour before my interview. So that was one thing, but it was fun, and, you know, some of the girls that I really enjoy being with and really consider some of my best pageant friends were there. And, you know, it had been like, it was the beginning of the season, so I hadn't seen anyone over the summertime and whatnot. So it was like, hey girl, how you doing? What you been up to? Da 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 da. So it was nice, really nice to see everybody. And then everything just kind of fell into place. And I'm that person, like, when so many things go wrong, I'm just like, you know what, whatever. It's gonna be what it is. And that's actually when a whole bunch of things go wrong. That's actually when I start to decompress and de-stress, because at that point I'm like, anything could go wrong. Everything is going wrong. It's no hope, basically. I know that sounds bad, but that's when so many things go wrong, I actually stress less. But I was really chill at that point, because I was like, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. I'm pretty sure some other things are about to happen, so I'm going to just fly with it and let it be what it's going to be. And I remember that was, my interview went great. It was one of the best interviews I had, because it was really personable and it was really about me. And because I just graduated school, I had a lot to say, and I had a lot of experiences that I wanted to share. And really, the judges asked me like everything that I wanted them to ask, as far as asking about me. And I knew it was going to be a good interview, because I studied abroad in Jamaica on a teaching internship, and I put that on my resume, and no one ever asked me about it. And that's like my favorite thing to talk about. I could talk about it forever, and I've never gotten asked about it. Out of all my years competing, no one has ever asked me about Jamaica, and this panel of judges did, and I was like, ooh, like this is gonna be good. I'm gonna have fun with this. And they asked me about teaching and my platform is STEAM education and all this kind of stuff. So I felt like they were genuinely interested in me, and it was one of the best interviews I ever had. And just on stage, like, everything just felt right. Like, I can't explain it, but when you do this every other weekend, it just comes to a point where you get comfortable, but when it feels right and when you feel like this is your moment, it's just a different experience. And I just felt like this was going to be my title. And I remember when it came time for on stage question, the girls and I were backstage kind of quizzing each other, testing each other, talking about the questions that we thought we were going to get and the issues that were prevalent to us and things like that. And during that time, transgender and like neutral bathrooms and everything was a big deal. And I graduated from an all-women's college, and I personally have like transgender friends and those kinds of things, friends that are transitioning. So it was very prevalent to me, and it really resonated with me, because I personally know people who had that experience and who have those identities. And we were talking about it backstage, and one of my friends, Naya, hey Naya, she asked me how I felt about it. And y'all, my on-stage question was basically, do you feel like gender-neutral bathrooms should be in public places, with female bathrooms and male bathrooms? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, everything is just falling into place. And it just, I don't know what else to say, y'all. It just felt right. It just felt like it was mine. And that's not to say that the other girls that I competed with didn't deserve it, but I will say, if there's anything that I've learned, I've been competing in MAO for 2 years, and it took me 2 years to get this single title. So that's a lot of time. And I will say, when it feels right, and when you feel that God has acknowledged your work and has acknowledged your faith and kind of your patience, and he sees that this is something that you really want. I just felt like God had recognized me and had said to me, hey, this is your time, and I know that you've been waiting, and I'm about to take care of you now. So, and it felt right. That's not to say that no one else deserved it. I just think, and I heard all the time, pageant girls, and when my friends would win, they would say, it's God's timing, it's God's timing, it's God's timing. And I never understood what they meant. But now that it has happened to me, I do. And all I can say is, whether or not I win Miss Georgia, of course I want to, but I'm so thankful for this experience, and I'm so thankful for this 2-year process, because it has really taught me patience and diligence and having faith and really meeting God halfway. We always say, you know, I want this blessing, I want this, I want that. But half of the time we already have it. We just have to, God has already done his work. He's already set it up for us. We just have to keep going until, you know, we get there. And I kept going, and I met God halfway, and it paid off. And it just, when they called my name and when I did my squat and got that crown on my head, it was just like, it was something that I've thought about and dreamed about, and I've visioned so many times that I couldn't even cry. Like, I always thought that I would cry when I finally got that crown, but because I had seen it so many times in my head, the tears didn't fall. It was like, finally, like, what I've seen up here is finally real. And I couldn't even cry about it. And my mom was like, you know, are you okay? Like, are you gonna cry? I was like, Mom, I can't even do it because I've seen it so many times in my head, and now that it's here, it's just assuring, it's just satisfying. It's like, yes, I knew I deserved it, and now I have it. And then, I don't know, like, it really took me a while to process that I'm going to Miss Georgia. Probably, I would say I got crowned like mid-August. It literally took me a month to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to Miss Georgia. I need to start prepping. And I literally would walk past my crown and sash every day and be like, wow, 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 wow. It's like mine. It's in my possession. And when you compete and like backstage, they have the, you know, the sash and the crown and the flowers ready for whoever is going to get crowned that night. And I would always like look at it backstage when I would compete and be like, man, I can't wait to get that in my possession. And now that it's in my possession, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's in my possession. So it was really crazy. And it just, like, it didn't become real to me until like a couple weeks after the fact. And it's just like, and I will say, like, that's one of the things that I appreciate about getting crowned so early in the season, is that you have a long time to prep. And I was just like, there were so many things I was like, wow, like, you know, I don't have to do this anymore. I can just prep. Like, I don't have to pack every other weekend. I don't have to, you know, drive an hour every other weekend. I don't have to, you know, put dresses in the dry cleaners every so often and things like that. Just those, like, normal things that you have to do to prep for, you know, a frequent pageant season where you're, like, competing every other weekend or so. I was just like, wow, like, I don't have to do that anymore. Like, I don't have to do that until summertime. And it really just took me a while to get into that title holder mindset, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm really appreciative, and I look at this every day and I just really reflect on all the hard work that it took me to get this. And even though it's a local title, it's not state, it's not national or anything like that, but I appreciate it and I love it and I value it because I did it for me, and I set a goal and I finally achieved it, and it's just more goals that need to be set and that need to be achieved. So y'all, this wasn't like a bragging video or anything like that. This was just to share with you, share with all the pageant girls out there, and if anything, just to motivate you. Like, if you've been doing this for a while and if you feel like you're getting nowhere, just keep going. Just please, please, please keep going. And God has already met you halfway. And give yourself the motivation and the discipline to meet him halfway. And when you finally do get that, you know, that crown and that sash, it will be so worth it, regardless of what happens after. Because this is something that, you know, you said you were going to do and you did it. And I've literally been saying I'm going to go to Miss Georgia since I was in high school. And I'm 22. So it took me a while to get there, but I did it and I'm going. And, you know, I'm gonna cherish it, and I'm gonna do everything that I can to get to that next level and to fulfill, you know, those pageantry dreams. So if anything, just keep going and continue to evaluate yourself and have faith in yourself and have faith in God that he is gonna meet you halfway and that he has already met you halfway. All you have to do is keep going. The blessings and everything that you have prayed for is already there. You just have to go and get it. You just have to meet God halfway. You know, all you have to do is get up and meet him halfway, and he will do it for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of, you know, my crowning moment and how I became Miss Stone Mountain Yellow Daisy. If you're interested in seeing it, I do have a video of my crowning moment in the videos. If I can link it, then I will link it above. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this motivated you. Like, comment, subscribe below. Let me know what other videos you want to see, and check out the description box below as well for any additional information. And I will see you guys in the next video.